Have you ever heard an owl call at night and felt your stomach drop, even though you knew it was just a bird? In South Texas, there's a legend that turns that sound into a warning, especially if you've been out late, had a few drinks, and you're walking to your car when the streets are quiet. They call it La Lechuza, and once you know the story, you'll never hear an owl the same way again. In the simplest version, the Lechuza is an enormous owl too big, too bold, too intelligent. Not something that flutters away when you look at it, but something that watches you back. Its wings are described as wider than they should be. Its eyes are wrong, dark, and human, like they're judging you. But the legend says it isn't just an owl, it's a woman, or what's left of a woman. Depending on who tells it, La Lechuza is either a bruja, a witch who can transform, or a woman who becomes something monstrous after tragedy or accusation drives her into darkness. One of the most chilling versions begins with a death that feels too real. A woman's child is killed by a drunk someone stumbling home from a bar, careless and reckless, turning a normal night into a permanent loss. The mother's grief curdles into rage, and rage turns into obsession. She doesn't go to court. She doesn't get justice. She doesn't get her child back, so she becomes the thing that hunts the guilty. The story says she transforms into a Lechuza, an owl woman, patrolling the streets after closing time, searching for the kind of men who laugh too loudly, stumble too confidently, and think the night protects them from consequences. In this telling, the Lechuza is revenge with wings, and she doesn't just attack. She warns you first. People say you'll hear it, a sudden flap of wings overhead, then an owl's call that sounds almost like a voice, sometimes described as a woman crying, sometimes described as laughter that doesn't belong to anything alive. Then you'll see it perched somewhere impossible on a roofline, a street sign, a tree above your car watching. And if you make the mistake of mocking it, throwing something at it, or shouting at it, some say it follows you, right to your door. Another version of the legend is even darker in a different way, because it isn't about revenge, it's about suspicion. In this telling, there's a woman who lives alone on the edge of town. She keeps to herself. She doesn't socialize the way people expect. And because small towns can turn loneliness into a crime, locals begin whispering. Then a child goes missing, and the woman becomes the easy answer. They accuse her of being a witch. They blame her for the disappearance. They treat her like she's guilty simply because she's different. The legend says she's hunted, threatened, pushed beyond the edge until she makes a desperate deal to survive. A deal with the devil, and that bargain turns her into the Lechuza, a powerful owl woman who can fly, who can curse, who can punish the people who destroyed her life with rumor and fear. In this version, the Lechuza isn't born evil. She's made by grief, made by injustice, made by the cruelty of people who needed a villain more than they needed the truth. And then there's the rule people repeat most often because it's the part that makes the legend feel like it can reach out and touch you. If you hear the Lechuza calling your name at night, don't answer, because the story says she can mimic voices. She can lure you outside. She can make you step into the dark like you're sleepwalking. Some people claim she scratches at windows. Others say she lands on rooftops so hard the house shakes. Some say you'll see her silhouette in the headlights, too tall, too still, like an owl that forgot how to be an animal. And almost every version of the legend ends with the same practical warning, delivered like it's half joke, half survival tip. If you're walking home late in South Texas and you hear wings above you, keep your head down, keep moving. Don't whistle, don't taunt, don't throw anything at the owl, because if it's just a bird, you'll be fine. But if it isn't, La Lechuza doesn't forgive mistakes.